Let's take a moment and review the basics. It is important to note that each wheel has a designated right and left side. This is the right side wheel. Note the bump on the shift handle. We have placed this as a tactile marker on the wheel so that you can easily identify it in the dark. When inserting the wheel axle into the receiver, it is easier to align the anti-rotation pin if you shift into low gear before insertion. Slide your fingers into the finger pocket, and your thumb will naturally rest on the axle release button. Depressing this button activates the quick release axle for easy installation and removal. Slide the wheel axle into the axle receiver, rotate the wheel until the anti-rotation pin lines up. Push the wheel all the way in until the axle release button pops out. The button should be almost flush with the shift handle. This is an important safety feature for the wheels so they can remain securely in place on your chair. In standard gear, the two-gear wheels operate similarly to conventional wheels in that the hand rim is directly connected to the wheels, a one-to-one relationship. For every one revolution of the hand rim, the wheel moves once. The MagicWheels gears can be easily shifted between standard gear and low gear with minimal strength and dexterity. This can be done by pushing or palming the shift handle. With your wrist, with your thumb, with two fingers, and finally with the back of your hand. It is important not to let the inside surface of your arms drag on the hand rim when shifting, as this can prevent shifting or make it very difficult. The hand rim must be free to rotate during shifting. Approaching an incline with MagicWheels is much like shifting a bicycle to a lower gear before starting up a hill. MagicWheel users should also approach a slope, a hill, or a ramp by shifting into the low gear before starting up the incline. In this clip, Barry approaches an incline, rolls to a stop, and shifts into low gear. Always remove all load from the wheels when shifting, as the wheels can be very difficult to shift when under load. Barry's going up a 10-degree slope in conventional wheels. Note the quick strokes he uses to maintain momentum and avoid stopping between pushes. In the second clip, we have taken the original footage and slowed it down to show the tremendous upper body drive Barry uses to propel his way up this incline. If he has to stop on a steep hill in conventional wheels, it is difficult or almost impossible to get started up again. Propelling up a hill with standard wheels puts huge, possibly injurious strain on arms and shoulders. Unlike conventional wheels, the MagicWheels low gear has an automatic hill hold braking mechanism. So as you propel forward up a hill, the wheelchair will not roll back between strokes. Watch the hill holding feature after each stroke. As Barry releases his hands off the hand rim, the hill hold engages and prevents him from rolling back. This gives him the freedom and peace of mind to ascend the hill at his own speed. To illustrate the low gear feature, we have placed white tape on the wheel and on the hand rim. In standard gear, the wheel and hand rim rotate together at identical speeds. The two tapes do not change relative position with each other as they both rotate. In low gear, or 2-to-1, the hand rim turns twice for every one revolution of the wheel. Watch the tape. The hand rim tape rotates twice for each rotation of the wheel tape. The MagicWheels low gear works off the same concept as riding a bike. Like a bicycle, a lower gear allows easier pedaling. However, it takes more strokes and more time to cover the same ground. With MagicWheels in low 2-to-1 gear, it becomes much easier to move the wheelchair at about half the effort. In low gear, the advanced two-gear system allows the user to control the stroke length and rate, thus eliminating any urgency to rush the arms back for the next push. As you can see, it allows a much more relaxed, controlled ascent of the hill at your own pace. This geared mode completely changes the dynamics of propulsion. Not only does it reduce the load by 50%, it also enables stroke control. For the purposes of this braking demonstration, Barry is on a 5-degree slope and will roll freely for 15 feet prior to braking. With conventional wheels, braking on an incline requires a lot of strength to overcome the downward momentum and subsequently puts a lot of stress on the body. The stopping force is very high, and you can see it transferred to Barry's arms and chest. When using conventional wheels, some individuals do not have the strength to control their wheelchair during downhill braking. MagicWheels, when operated in the low gear, provides added downhill control and improved braking to help remedy this situation. For the purpose of this braking demonstration, Barry is on a 5-degree slope and will roll freely for 15 feet prior to braking. The MagicWheels 2-gear drive allows for greater downhill braking control in low gear. As you can see, Barry's body remains fairly relaxed throughout the low gear braking. When braking in low gear, light pressure on the surface of the rim is enough to bring Barry to a stop. With MagicWheels in low gear, Barry can stop in half the normal distance with no increased hand pressure on the hand rim. This gives the added benefit of more control when braking, minimizing stress and strain on the body. Be aware that if you use MagicWheels in standard gear versus the low gear, the braking will operate like a conventional wheel and will not provide added downhill braking control. Override is a safety feature built into the wheel design. In this clip, Barry is in low gear. He approaches the hill with high energy, but decides very quickly that he is overmatched. In this case, he can override the hill holder and return to level ground. To override the hill hold, determine in which direction you want to turn. Drive one wheel forward until the wheelchair is turned about 90 degrees to reduce the load on the opposite wheel. Then pull the other wheel, hand rim, backward to spin around. The hand on that one side will pull back on the hand rim while the opposite arm will drive forward. After several opposing strokes, this override will allow you to spin around and use the added braking force and control of low gear to get yourself back down to level ground.